Imagine a world where the Mongol Empire didn't just blaze a rapid trail across Eurasia only to fragment and fade away. What if instead it endured, thrived even, and shaped the centuries that followed? It's a fascinating what if, and today, let's wander down that path, exploring how a lasting Mongol Empire could have altered the course of history. Let's rewind to the 13th century. Under Genghis Khan's fierce leadership, the Mongols carved out the largest contiguous empire the world had ever seen, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. But even the mightiest empires faced challenges, succession disputes, cultural complexities, vast territory management, and eventually, the Mongol Empire splintered into khanates, losing that unifying force that initially gave it power. Now picture a different story. What if the Mongol Empire had found a way to hold itself together, centralizing power more effectively and fostering unity among its diverse peoples? With the lessons learned from their initial expansions, imagine a Mongol state that could govern a multi-ethnic, geographically sprawling empire with lasting cohesion. The very landscape of the modern world might look quite different. First, think about trade and cultural exchange. The Mongols were already incredible facilitators of the Silk Road, connecting east and west in ways few empires before them had. A unified Mongol Empire maintaining peace across Eurasia could have accelerated the flow of goods, ideas, and technologies dramatically. We might have seen the Renaissance ignite earlier or in unexpected places, sparked by faster and broader knowledge exchange, powered by the security and communication networks the Mongols were famous for. Technologies from Chinese gunpowder to Persian astronomy could have spread more swiftly, blending and evolving on a massive scale. Politically, a continuous Mongol Empire would have changed the European and Asian balance of power. Europe hadn't yet consolidated into strong centralized states, while the Mongols were already masters of uniting vast lands. That lasting presence might have slowed European colonial expansion as we remember it, or even redirected it entirely. Could the New World have been reached differently or later? Meanwhile, in Asia, the fusion of Mongol governance with local cultures, Persian, Chinese, Turkic, might have created new hybrid forms of political and social systems. Instead of fragmented khanates vying for influence, a Mongol-led Eurasian empire might have laid the foundation for something reminiscent of today's multicultural superstates, balanced between tradition and innovation. At a human level, the Mongols' legacy might surprise us. History often remembers their conquests through the lens of destruction, but their rule also brought religious tolerance, meritocracy in administration, and legal reforms. A lasting empire could have deepened these values, reshaping social structures, reducing ethnic conflicts, and encouraging a different kind of cosmopolitanism. Yet it's not hard to imagine the challenges, too. Holding together such a vast and culturally varied empire would demand exceptional leadership and delicate diplomacy. There might have been tensions, resistance, and competing identities pushing for autonomy. Could the Mongols have adapted their nomadic governance to the sedentary complexities of empire management in the long term? That's part of the what-if intrigue. What about science and exploration? With Mongol stability, caravans, scholars, and adventurers traveling hundreds or thousands of miles without fear of danger would likely increase. Marco Polo's tales might have been the tip of the iceberg for cultural encounters, and exchanges of knowledge in medicine, engineering, and cartography could have been far richer and earlier. The Renaissance could have had a more united Eurasian stage. In the arts, literature, and religion, the Mongol Empire's vastness meant a daily collision of traditions and beliefs. A continuing empire could have planted seeds for new artistic movements, melding Mongolian shamanism with Buddhism, Islam, and Christianity in unexpected ways, crafting schools of thought and art forms unique to a global civilization long before our time. All in all, imagining a Mongol empire that never collapsed challenges us to think about how history's disruptions are as much about what fades away as what stands the test of time. It pushes us to reconsider narratives centered solely on European or Chinese histories and recognize the Mongol impact is something potentially even more transformative on a world scale. So the next time you glance at a map or read about the Silk Road or marvel at the early modern world's cultural fusion, remember there's a chance that the Mongol Empire's story isn't just about rapid conquest and sudden collapse. It could have been a lasting legacy, a bridge across continents that changed everything. And that's the beauty of history's what-ifs. They invite us to imagine worlds both wild and thoughtful, reminding us how the ripples of leadership, culture, and human connection can shape our shared destiny in unexpected ways.